next thing I need to deal with is these inserts right here that I took out of the playfield. And if you recall, the reason I took them out is because the text on those inserts was completely rubbed off. So I have some of these inserts over here. So here's one of the red inserts that I have left. You can see I have about the top part of the 50 and about none of the key line. So since we're going to be using the insert decals, what we need to do is prepare these for the insert decals. Basically what we have here is the silk screen of the 50 left, and then it's going to be hard to see in the video, but all around here is what's left of the original lacquer finish that they put on the playfield. So we need to get all that off, and how we're going to do that is we're going to wet sand. Alright, so we're going to take these inserts and prepare them for the insert decals. So what I have here is my tub of lukewarm water with a dab of dish soap in it. And I'm just going to use two papers for this. On my rubber sanding blocks, I have 600 grit wet dry sandpaper and 1500 grit wet dry sandpaper. What I'm going to do is sand with the 600, then the 1500, and get this off. So what we need to start is we're going to take our paper and we're going to dip it in water to get it wet. And then I'll take the insert, put a little water on that. And then I'm just going to lay this flat on the sanding block. And I'm going to stick my finger around the insert, and in a circular motion I'm just going to sand this until I get that off. Alright, so as you can see, if you can see, I am almost completely done. I have one little itty bit of black around this corner. So I'm just going to go just a little bit more. And that looks perfect. I don't see any more of the original lacquer. I don't see any text. So I'm going to switch over to my 1500. And what the 1500 is going to do is just take out some of them scratches that were left from the coarser 600 grit. So same deal. I dipped my 1500 in sandpaper, in the water, and I have it on a sanding block. And in a circular motion, I am just wiping that around the sandpaper just to smooth it out. I can already see that it's a lot shinier than it was on my 600 grit. And that's all there is to that. Now when that dries, you can already see it's got a real dull finish to it. So what we're going to use is just a regular medium cut rubbing compound. I'm going to kind of polish the top of the insert with this, and then after that I will follow it up with Nuvis 2. And then this insert will be ready to put back in the playfield. So I'm just going to take a dab of, if I can get it out of here. Just going to put a dab of the medium cut rubbing compound on the center of the insert, and I'm just going to take a diaper cloth rag and give it a good little buffing. It's going to take a couple applications to get it to where I want it. And then after the medium cut, we're going to take a little Nuvis 2, and we're going to do the same thing 2 or 3 times. I'm going to do this with the Nuvis 2, just to shine that up. And then once that's all shined up, we'll be ready to put this into the playfield. Alright, so I'm ready to put my inserts into the game, back into the playfield. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some rubbing alcohol, and I'm just going to clean off the insert, just to make sure there's no contaminants on it that the glue is not going to stick to. And clean that up real good. The other thing I'm going to do is refer to my little picture here to make sure I'm putting the correct color insert in the right spot. So I can see that here is all green. So we're going to put a green insert in. So the only things I need for this is some gel super glue. That's what I like to use. Everybody uses something different. I just got used to using the gel super glue for this. I need some way to make sure I level the insert. I just use a little piece of wood block here to bang it in. And then I'll use my little rubber mallet to bang it in. So what I do is I take the gel lube and I'm just going to run a bead of gel lube around the hole. If you put the gel lube on the insert, when you push the insert in, that'll squeeze the super glue up and get super glue on the top of your playfield, which you don't want. Doesn't take a lot. Then I'm going to take my insert and I'm just going to carefully get it in here. You don't want to push it too hard in by hand because then you might push it too far. And then I'll put my wood block on top and pound it down until nothing happens anymore, and then just leave it. Let it set. You know, you don't want to go poking around on it because again, you might push too hard and then you get a little lip there. So that's all there is to that. We're going to put the rest of these in. So I'm on my last step here, and that is to put the insert decals on. I went on eBay and I got these insert decals. These are from Classic Arcades. I typically don't like to use these, but when your text is totally worn off, either from the ball wear, which is what was the case on mine, or sometimes you'll lose this text when you're doing a mylar removal. So really your only option is these insert decals. So what I did is I'm already set up on my sawhorses. I'm ready to clear coat. I've already naphthed the playfield a bunch of times, and I did that because these are ink up and I don't want to wear the ink off. So that's why I'm putting these on last. So I've already done these ones over here. They look pretty darn good actually. So I just have these bonus inserts to do. So what I'm going to do is I just kind of, these are already pre-cut. So you just kind of got to get an end going here, which sometimes is a little hard. But I get an end going and I get just my hobby knife under the edge of it here. And I can peel it up like that on my hobby knife. This way I can line it up the way I want it to. I want to get this as centered and as straight as possible. And then I kind of put it down with the knife. And work it in. So these are pretty simple. So I'll finish these up and I'll show you when I'm all done. Alright, so we got all those insert decals on. They're kind of hard to see on the camera, but it was these 4 green inserts and these 5 red inserts that I took out and put the insert decals on. So now that was my last step. I'm happy enough with the playfield that that's as far as I'm going to go. And it looks pretty good. It should look a lot better once it's cleared. And actually the first 2 coats of clear are what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to use my favorite clear coat, which is right here. It's the DuPont Chroma Clear 7776S. It's a snap dry high solids automotive clear coat. This costs about $60 for the quart of, that's the quart of the product and the activator. For the clear coat procedure, you can see I think I did a 5-part series on doing automotive clear coat, so I'm not going to cover that in this video. So I got 3 quick coats of clear on here. You can already see how nice everything's really blended together on it. This is still pretty wet, but everything's blended together real nice. The insert decals look okay. I'm not exactly happy with those, but you know, what can you do? The main thing is the touch-up. That was that big area touch-up. That's blended in real nice. So I hope this video was helpful to you. And again, this is PinDude from VintagePinballStore.com.